Good evening and welcome to the last Monday edition of FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist and we're looking live at Doak Campbell Stadium. It's gorgeous outside, that sun peeking through those clouds. 76 degrees, pretty mild out today. Slight winds, 8 miles per hour. The current radar, we can see that storm system passing off to the east coast. Tallahassee looks pretty clear right now, but there are some scattered showers that may be coming through tonight, so keep a lookout for that if you're going out. It's going to be 58 degrees tonight. If you're going outside, you may need a jacket. It's going to be slightly chilly. Partly cloudy and slight winds again. Tomorrow's forecast, it's looking beautiful, 83 degrees, partly cloudy, so I suggest getting outside to study, get some fresh air before finals week is approaching. 4 miles per hour winds. Tonight's headlines, we're going to have some scattered showers to start the week in the south. We have flooding concerns in the Midwest and southern plains. And we also have America the Weatherful Trivia. I hope you all look forward to the show tonight. Thank you for watching.
Good evening to all my single ladies out there watching FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Nikki Kanakis here to bring you a beautiful Monday edition of FSU Weather. It is the last week of shows for the spring semester, and this week is going to be jam-packed with all of our FSU weathercasters and the passing off of the clipboard from this year's team leaders to next year's. I would like to shout out our Monday team leader, Wanique. She has really helped all of us through our journeys here. This is her last show of the semester, and we are all really thankful. You'll see throughout how many people she's affected and how many people have come out for her last show of the semester. So I want to say a big thank you to her. And now I'm going to pass it off to Sabrina with our first local.
Good evening. I'm student meteorologist Sabrina Uribe, and those were wonderful words, Nikki. We know we're all going to miss Monique so much when she graduates next week. But we're looking out to Doak Campbell Stadium, a beautiful, beautiful Monday night at 76 degrees with a slight breeze at 8 miles per hour. And we do see those clouds coming through, but absolutely beautiful conditions to be outside if you choose to do so. Those temperatures are looking very, very comfortable. We're at 75 degrees in Quincy and 72 degrees in Tallahassee. But very, very comfortable overall. Nothing really to worry about except for those clouds that are kind of moving through with that rain that just hit us this afternoon. But the humidity in the area is also looking rather comfortable. We see those dew points rather lower. So if you don't already know, the lower the dew point, the drier the conditions are going to be. So we're looking rather comfortable and not a lot of humidity in the area tonight. Now, we're going to be talking a little bit about average temperatures. As we can see today, we are looking at a high of 75 and a low of 60, which is well within our average for this time of year, which is honestly great given that the temperatures were way hotter than they should have been early on in the year. And looking a little bit more hour by hour as we move on through the day, we see those temperatures steadily increase from a 66 degrees at 7 and then 76 degrees at 7 p.m. So again, rather great temperatures, looking really, really consistent. Now, the satellite, we see that rain passing through from that afternoon shower with that front, and we do see those clouds kind of stay in the area, but again, that front has passed through and those conditions are also passing through, so we shouldn't have to worry about much rain moving on into the week. So yeah, as I touched on, the system will continue moving forward, which is great for us here. Now, tonight, temperatures will drop quite a bit into 58 degrees. Here in Tallahassee, we're going to be 60, which is great conditions to be outside, go and enjoy your night. And then tomorrow, temperatures will also increase quite a bit into 80 degrees, which is a little bit higher than today. But again, really, really comfortable, great conditions to be outside if you are looking to do so. So now moving on into the week, we are looking at great temperatures, looking in the low 80s, but we do see that rain coming into the weekend starting on Thursday and on Saturday. But let's move into the next segment with Elizabeth with Victoria.
Thank you. We're going to zoom out just a bit and look at what's happening over in the rest of Florida. Here we can see that storm that was mentioned earlier that has moved on from Tallahassee, making its way into the rest of the Big Bend area over to Gainesville, as well You can see a system forming here on the East Coast, with most of these counties here from Broward up until Orlando experiencing a thunderstorm warning at the moment until tomorrow night. So we can see quite a large system developing over the Atlantic. Here we can see the effects of that rain, with just a bit of rainfall here that we've experienced in Tallahassee, but the most impact actually staying down south by the Miami and Orlando areas, receiving up to an inch of rain within the next couple of days. Here we can see just how much those thunderstorms will be affecting over in the south, with some pretty high temperatures and pretty strong storms throughout Miami for the next couple of days. Here we can see those high temperatures also affecting a lot of Tampa at the moment. Despite the heavy rain, it's still peaking over at the 87-degree mark, quite hot for this time of year over in southern Florida. Here in Orlando, we can see the same story with quite some consistency in the rain, as it will actually be raining for most of the week there, unlike the northern part of the state, as the system will linger for quite a while there. Jacksonville looking a little better than most for the rest of the state, with temperatures actually quite nice and mild with the 77 and only up to the lower 80s, and some quite lighter rain compared to the rest of the state here. Pensacola, we can see our neighbors here in Pensacola have had some cloudy conditions, but not so much rain as we have here today, or as we have been seeing in the southern parts of the state, but we'll experience some storms on Thursday as systems from over to the west will come in and affect the panhandle. Here we can see for tonight's temperatures that we're actually staying pretty toasty for the night, with most of the cities here in the south staying in the 80-degree range for tonight. And tomorrow, once again, really hot temperatures for this time of year, but let's take a look at the rest of the southeast.
Yeah, so fortunately for the rest of the southeast, it's actually not sitting as warm as we are here in the state of Florida. We do have 66 in Tampa. I don't believe that is right, but there are clouds in the region as well as in Miami, and it's currently 66 in Clemson, South Carolina, and 64 in Georgia right now. So not too bad for the southeast if you're not in the state of Florida. So we are sitting in the mid to upper 60s for the northern part of the region, 67 in Little Rock, 71 in Montgomery, and 67 in Jackson, and warmer as we get into the state of Florida. It is 79 in Miami and 76 in Tampa right now. And these winds are pretty strong for the majority of the southeast. It was very windy here in Tallahassee today, and it was pretty windy everywhere else. We had a 15-mile-per-hour wind in Little Rock, 12 in Miami, 8 in Key West, so very windy across the southeast. And so from our water vapor imagery right here, we do see these storms move through the state of Florida, and then we see all of this all of the drier air behind it. So we'll see those storms move through, and then we should be good for the next day or two. And so here is that drier air that is behind the line of storms, and then we see that it's more humid when you get into the state of Florida. And so we'll see those storms move through, and then by the morning hours on Tuesday and into the later time on Tuesday, we'll see those storms move in from the west, and then by this time on Wednesday, we'll have those stronger storms move through the northern portion of the southeast. So for today, we had a slight risk for severe storms in the central and southern part of the east coast of the state, with a marginal risk around it and a non-severe risk around that. For tomorrow, we are going to have a slight risk in Texas with a marginal risk around that. And for the state of Florida, we have a marginal risk for that region that have a slight risk for today. And for Wednesday, we see that risk for storms move through the majority of the area, with that slight risk sitting in the same spot that it did for Tuesday. So for tonight, we're going to see mid to upper 50s and 60s in Florida, and for tomorrow, it's going to be another hot day. So now, let's take another zoom out at our national forecast.
All right, thank you so much, Elizabeth. So nationally, there's quite a bit going on across the country. So we've had mainly a couple of fronts move across the country, which is why most of the country is seeing some cooler than average temperatures. Right now we're looking at 69 in Dallas, 81 in Miami, 60 in Salt Lake City. We're even looking at 61 out in San Francisco. These are pretty chilly temperatures for April, almost May. So you can see across much of the map, we have some lingering fronts from a few systems that made it across the country. So these the little stationary fronts here, they're just a bunch of little single ladies just sitting here in the country all alone, but they're going to make it their way west to the Atlantic Ocean. Behind them, we have plenty of high pressure, which is what this blue H here and here means. This is going to help lead to some pretty calm weather, but we still do have enough moisture in the atmosphere for some storms to pop up. So like I mentioned with that moisture, you can see here along the Gulf Coast, we're starting to get some moisture to pile up. This is going to be our next big kind of system of rain, which is going to make its way across the southeast and possibly up north toward the Atlantic Ocean. And up here in the northern Midwest, we can still see some lingering remnants of the storm they had a few days ago. And here's an upper level look of that water vapor. So all these brighter, more white and bluish colors, these are your moist or air with more moisture. And some of these pinkish brown colors in the corner, those are your dry air. So we still have a lot of moist air across the country. Here you can see some of those storms firing up with some of that rain as well down there in southern Florida. And our Storm Prediction Center outlook, so all these pale green, almost minty colors, these areas are really just maybe some pop-up thunderstorms, not really too much to worry about, not a big risk for severe weather. But as we get down here into Florida, much of Florida has a marginal or a slight risk, which is like a level 1 to 2 out of 5, level 2 out of 5 being that slight risk in the yellow. So those areas want to look out maybe for some flooding, lightning as always. And across much of the country, not too many warnings, which is always good to see. We do have some fire weather warnings down here in New Mexico, and just some winter advisories up in the mountains and the Rocky Mountains from Colorado up into Montana. And on the East Coast, we have a few more single lady storms over here. Down in South Florida, we can see, so like was mentioned a few minutes ago, we have some possible severe thunderstorm watches down there. Definitely want to keep an eye out. As well, we have some winter weather advisories and some freeze warnings and watches up here in the mid-Atlantic and going into the Midwest. We're going to take a quick look at the drought monitor. So across a lot of the country, especially out west, we've been seeing a really big improvement in our droughts, especially in California and much of the southeast. But we are looking at a big area of drought here in the Ogallala Aquifer region, in the plains area, which hopefully in the next few days we will get some rain and that will go away. We still do have that drought down in South Florida. So taking one quick look, last look at our temperature outlook for the next few days. Pretty much everywhere east of the Rocky Mountains, we're going to be looking at cooler than average temperatures. Everywhere west of the Rocky Mountains, we're going to be seeing warmer than average temperatures. And we're going to pass things off to Nico for a look at what's going on around town.
Thank you, Spencer. So yeah, right now around town, if we take a look, we have a live look at the res. You can see that most of the darker rain clouds that were around us today have gone past through, just leaving us partly cloudy with nice temperatures of 76. And these clouds are actually going to produce a really nice sunset, nice beautiful colors. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I really enjoyed the temperatures that we had here in the Tallahassee region, mostly in the lower 60s for most of the day. And as for tonight, temperatures are going to remain there with temperatures a little bit more inland, staying in the upper 50s, 58 in Quincy, and a little bit farther south, 63 in Carabel and 60 in Apalachicola. As for winds, over in Donaldsville, it's actually a little bit strong right now at 12 miles per hour, same in Apalachicola, but for the rest of the Big Bend, it's a little bit calmer. Here in Tallahassee, we have wind speeds of 8, and in Thomasville, speeds of 8 as well. As for our future radar, you can see here that most of that precipitation that was here throughout the day is going to make its way east. And then for most of tomorrow, we shouldn't have any threat of rain besides some scattered showers probably to the east of us, and it will be partly cloudy as well. And for our daily planner for tomorrow, there is a very low chance of rain, and temperatures actually, believe it or not, won't hit 80 for tomorrow. So it's going to be in the upper 70s for most of the day. So it should be relatively nice to go out and enjoy. And so if you are looking for something to do tomorrow, you should go check out the Florida State men's baseball. They play tomorrow here versus Stetson. It's going to be 79, so it's going to be pretty nice temperatures. So go on to support our Knowles. And then Florida State women's softball has a huge game against number 4 Florida. Right now we're ranked number 4, so it's going to be a crazy matchup. We're going to be playing on Wednesday. It's also going to be really nice temperatures, 76. It's going to be perfect conditions to go support our Lady Knowles. And our defending conference champs actually in beach volleyball are going to be trying to defend their title over in Huntsville, Alabama. They play on Thursday. It's going to be relatively nice, well in the 70s and 60s, perfect springtime temperatures to go be playing sports. And Florida State is going to be playing at Jacksonville. They're going to be our track and field. It's going to be actually relatively warmer on Friday with temperatures in the 80s. And as you can see, they might have a chance of rain on Tuesday and Wednesday, 40% and 70%, and then on Thursday there should be lower chances of rain, but it will be a little bit warmer with temperatures in the 80s. Now I'm going to throw it to Aaron and Josh with some fun trivia.
All right, thanks, Nico, and welcome, single ladies, here to our trivia. We'll be doing America the Beautiful trivia here. Amazing segment here that we have on exclusively on the Monday show here at FSU Weather. But our first question, Josh, is today marks the 20th anniversary of the dissipation of what anomalous April, I can't speak that word. Anomalous April tropical disturbance. Is it A, Tropical Storm Elsa, B, Tropical Storm Anna, C, Tropical Storm Erin, or D, Tropical Storm Arlene? What do you think, Josh?
I'm actually thinking, I'm just going to go with Tropical Storm Erin.
I honestly I would say the same thing too. However, I feel like it's a little bit too good. So I might go with Tropical Storm Anna. Is that correct? Okay.
Nice.
I mean, all right, that or Arlene, one of the two. So it looks like on Earth Day in 2003, Anna formed in the Atlantic basin well before the official start of hurricane season. So you want to read the second question?
Yeah, I'll take care of it. So what was the main atmospheric factor that caused the Black Hills temperature change in 1943? Was it A, a cold front, B, Evan, C, a sea breeze, or D, Chinook winds? I personally, as much as I want to say Evan, just for the fun of it, I'm pretty sure it would have to be, my gut's telling me to go with D, Chinook winds.
I'm going to say it's Evan, because honestly, Evan is as an atmospheric factor here at FSU Weather. I will say all day, every day.
Yeah.
So my vote is for Evan. You guys, Chinook wins. You want to read it, actually?
Yeah. In 1943, a warm Chinook wind brought the temperature in Black Hills, South Dakota, from -4 to 45 degrees Fahrenheit in 2 minutes.
Wow, 2 minutes. That's
Yeah.
really hard to believe that. And our third question is, when did the Super Tuesday tornado outbreak happen? Was it A, July 3rd, 1999, July 4th, 1883, May 11th, 2012, or February 5th, 2008? What are you thinking, Josh?
I'm thinking D, February 5th, 2008.
I kind of have to agree with you on that, because at least it probably May or February, considering that's probably the heart of tornado season. So let's take a look. Oh, yes. February, okay. February 5th, 2008 there. So it looks like in 2008, within hours of, what does it say? I can't read that. Go ahead.
86 tornadoes were produced throughout the South and Ohio Valley. And finally, for our last question, what state experienced the most anomalous temperature changes during the 2012 March heat wave? Was it A, Michigan, B, Georgia, C, Ohio, or D, Texas? I'm going to be saying Ohio, mainly because the Midwest experienced it the most.
I don't know. I might do Michigan.
You're correct. So monthly record temperatures were reached in Michigan and reached 9 degrees in Lapper, Michigan. And that's it for AMS America the Weatherful trivia. I just want to give a quick shout out to this Florida State Swing Dance Club and to all the single ladies out there. So now let's bring it over to our local.
Things are looking gorgeous now in Tallahassee now that the sun is finally starting to come out. Started off really gloomy and cloudy this morning with a bit of rain coming in ahead of that cold front that passed through. But now we're finally starting to see those blue skies popping out. And there's still some spotty clouds here and there, but things did clear up and warm up very nicely throughout the day today. So for the current temperatures, we're in the lower 70s across the board, slightly cooler over here in Madison, dipping into the 60s. But overall, very comfortable conditions for this time of year, especially after the stifling heat that we had over the weekend. But the dew points, things are finally starting to dry up a little bit after all that precipitation that we had this morning. There's some drier air that's starting to come in behind that cold front, so things are not as muggy as they were earlier this morning. But with final season right around the corner, if you're going to be spending some late nights in Strozier, look out for these cooler temperatures dipping into the 50s tonight. So definitely bring a jacket with you if you're going to be on campus studying. And for the stargazing forecast, the skies are going to continue to clear out tonight. So we're going to have some clear skies and some really good viewing conditions. So definitely get out there and take a look at what you can see. For the airport delays, there are no delays in Tallahassee right now, so things cleared up nicely. No delays to worry about here. And the same is true for most of the country, except here in Orlando, there's some slight delays as they've been getting a lot of rain and a slight risk of severe weather throughout the day today. So if you're flying out of Orlando, just make sure to get there extra early or to just account for those delays. For tomorrow's forecast, things are going to warm up even more. We're going to be back into the 80s, so very comfortable conditions. Gorgeous day to get outside, partly cloudy skies, and a nice little breeze to keep things cool. And we'll be starting off a little bit chilly at 7 a.m., 59 degrees, but it'll quickly warm up once that sun comes out, warming up into the 70s. And it'll be a gorgeous day to be in the pool with sunny skies and things clearing up really, really nicely. And for the week ahead, things should remain mostly clear for the first half of the week, but some big chances of rain coming in this weekend. But now I will hand things off, and let's just see what things are looking like in Tallahassee.
Thanks, Heather. We're taking a look at Doak here. We can see the starts of a beautiful sunset to finish off the day and to finish off the last week of school. And as we take a look at our current temperatures, Tallahassee 73, Quincy 75, actually the warmest in the area. Apalachicola looking a bit warmer than usual, but across the map we're about 70s in the area. And as we saw earlier, we have these scattered showers from a front that just came through a little bit ago. I was surprised when I woke up this morning and it seemed more like Seattle than Florida. But these showers are going to move out. There might be some more pop-ups in the area, so have an umbrella, but there's nothing heavy. And as we take a look into the future here, like I mentioned before, there's going to be some clouds, but overall we're going to have more drier conditions. It's going to be more, it's going to be less humid. It's going to feel much more like springtime conditions. And tonight's forecast, we're on either side of 60 degrees throughout the area, green across the map here. And as we take a look into our late night here, we're going to steadily decrease from 9 to 1. And if you are in the library studying like me, just maybe potentially bring an umbrella or a coat. And if you also have allergies like me, we definitely have very good conditions, nothing concerning here, as you can see. And that's also good if you are at a bike cast, if you are riding a bike at all. No windbreaker, no jacket, no nothing. These are very good conditions, maybe a bit cloudy at 3 here. And as we take a look at the week ahead, we have some stormy conditions throughout the most of this week here. And it's going to be very clear for these two, for the future here. Like I said, there's that high pressure that's moving through the area. But we might have some of those more stormy conditions on Friday and Saturday. And I would just suggest, maybe bringing something to, like bring an umbrella or something like that. The temperatures aren't going to decrease at all during this time. We are going to stay seasonable for this time of year. So again, nothing very concerning. I would recommend just going in Strozier and studying. But I would like to pass things off to the desk here and to Winique. This is her final show, so I'd love to hear from her.
Thank you so much for that, Anna, and thank you so much to all the weathercasters on today's Monday show of FSU Weather. It is the final edition of FSU Weather for me, and I'm quite sad. My name is Monique Martinez, and I'm the student meteorologist that has had the honor and pleasure of serving as the producer and team leader. This crew that we have, this Monday crew, is truly special. They are loyal and talented, so I just want to thank every single one of them for volunteering their time to start off their week, at FSU Weather. Mondays, are rough in their self and in their own right, but to spend time at FSU Weather has really meant a lot to me, and Monday's shows would not be what they are without all of you. So I just wanted to take the time to thank everyone for really making Monday shows what they are. If you can't tell, I'm trying to hold it together right now. So I just want to thank everyone. Everyone is so talented. The growth that I've seen on the Monday shows and FSU Weather as a whole this year has been exceptional. I've never seen such an exceptional and talented group of people grow so fast. So again, thank you so much, and it has truly been a dream come true to be your team leader. So now what I want to do is pass it off to the very talented and capable hands of Caitlin McKinney. Caitlin will be our team leader next Monday, next year for Monday's show. So Monday will be in great hands, and I think we're going to continue this fantastic tradition that we have. Caitlin?
Yeah, and I am a little emotional because Monique and I started FSU Weather together, and she's graduating and doing amazing things. And I always said I was never going to do broadcast, and then this woman next to me is just a superstar. And not that she changed my mind, but she's definitely been a positive encouragement in my life, and just for a big professional person. So I just thank her for that, and I'm excited to take over her show. Mondays are hard, like she said, they're just hard, but following in Monique's footsteps is going to be really magical. Excited about it.
You're magical. Thank you, Caitlin. So we're not going to talk anymore because I really don't want to cry. So again, I want to thank everyone. I also want to give a quick shout out to Professor Dignon. Professor Dignon has been our advisor for the first year at FSU Weather, and she has fit in just seamlessly. She is truly a listening ear and just a guiding light for FSU Weather. So I want to take a moment to really thank her in helping us grow this year as well. And as always, we also want to thank Dr. John Alquist, who is the torchbearer for FSU Weather, and he is what really started this journey for all of us. So all the weathercasters that you see from FSU usually go through FSU Weather, so we wouldn't be what we are without FSU Weather. So this is truly a special place, and like I said before, the talent here is unmatched. So you guys are in great hands next year. I will be graduating. Caitlin will be taking over next year, but guess what? You're not going to get rid of me. I'll pop in every so often, and I hope to see you guys soon. So now we're going to take it to our socials. Be sure to follow us on all of our socials. We have a good bit to follow. We have TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. So follow us on Twitter at FSU.com.
You can also like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU Weather.
And follow our TikTok, and if you're watching us live on YouTube, thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube on FSU Weather.
You can also follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather. We post really cool things.
So we're going to pass it off to Katie to close out our show. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'm student meteorologist Monique Martinez.
I'm student meteorologist Caitlin McKinney.
That is some exciting news. Thank you, Monique and Caitlin. But let's check out for tonight. We are going to dip down to 58 degrees, which is very chilly, so definitely bring a jacket. We're going to have partly cloudy conditions and a slight breeze, but let's check out the hour by hour. For our hour by hour, we are staying pretty chilly, and we did get to 75, so that's very warm. And this has been Katie Garch signing out and wishing you a great semester.